everybody. Welcome back to Chronicles on Tape. Our first ever podcast ran a little bit long because we just have all kinds of stuff to talk about. So we're going to pick it up right here with the second half of it, and we're going to continue kind of going over a basic backstory of ourselves and stuff like that, and how we know each other. And now we have Tiffanie. So Tiffanie, it's all yours.
Hi. How did I get into cars? It's so hard to just say these things. So when I was a kid, my dad has been really into cars, and he used to actually be subscribed to a bunch of different car magazines and whatnot. And I remember the first time I actually noticed a car, it was a bright red E36. That was the first Beamer that my dad bought.
But you know what the cover, the magazines, what were?
No, I don't, because, so...
Asian car magazines?
They were both. There was, everything, because I used to steal my dad's car magazines to look at all the girls, like a little pervert.
Was it Importuner? No.
Well, I don't know, because were all those magazines around when I was, in second grade?
Well, 4 years ago, yeah.
What?
4 years ago, we were already writing for Importuner.
Yeah.
Okay, second grade. How old was I?
Dude, no.
How old were you in second grade?
I'm trying to figure out. Hold on.
22 years ago.
No, second grade. I would. What age do you start kindergarten?
4.
4? So I would have been 6.
Second grade is
No, actually, I was definitely 5 or. That was 5. Cause I was 5.
The year 2000. Yeah.
No, 1997.
Okay.
Because I was born 92.
Yeah, so it's no, there wasn't Importuner yet.
No, I just know that there were car magazines, and then there were bitches, and then I looked at the bitches.
It was probably Max Power or something.
That actually sounds very
Yeah, because there's porn in the back of that.
Yeah, there's a UK magazine.
Yeah, that sounds very,
Hell yeah.
very familiar.
Watching
Yes.
old and just hoping I showed up.
Yeah. That's
Am I the only person who has no idea?
Yeah.
What?
Max Power was a UK magazine, and then when you flip through it, there would just be naked bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the one
And
that.
you could see a Ford Escort Cosworth or whatever, and some big old titties would be in there, just be floating around. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. So, okay.
So that's how I started looking at car magazines.
Mm-hmm.
And then fast forward a few years, and then when I was growing up, I was a pretty tomboyish person, and all my friends were guys because I moved schools a lot, so girls groups weren't as easy to get into, but guys groups were because they're a little bit more accepting of new kids. So all my friends were always guys, and then when I was in 7th grade, I moved to Irvine, and I became 2-door down neighbors from this family with these 3 kids, and one of the kids was actually my age, and slowly by high school, me and him became really good friends, and we had a high school romantic relationship, but we ended up me and him, and then our group of friends, we decided to buy an MR2.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I bought it because I was the only person that worked, so I was the only person that had money. So I bought an 87 MR2 in a dark blue.
The
AW11.
AW11.
Yeah.
But it didn't run, right?
No, it didn't. We
Did it have an engine?
No, not really. Well, kind of. It was
Fucked up.
it was.
How does it?
It was barely anything. It was
It didn't run.
It was $700.
The block was there, but it was missing the head or something?
No, it probably just.
I don't fucking remember.
Motor.
Yeah, but we were just shit, we bought this car. So we asked our friend's older brother to help us tow it to our high school, and we left it at our auto shop, and we decided to fuck around with it. But I technically was not allowed to be enrolled in auto shop because I was a dancer, so I had to be in dance company.
Oh.
So I had the same. So I would go between dance company and go to the auto shop to check on everything, but then I had to technically stay in dance company. And then next we bought an 87 Supra, and an 88 RX-7.
It's all three broken.
Yeah. Well, okay. So the RX-7 that we bought, nobody knew how to drive stick yet, but that was the only car that ran. So we like had
How did everybody just have money for cars back then?
Well, I worked a lot.
No.
I worked at a stem cell laboratory.
So you contribute to the funds of these other cars too?
I bought like most of them.
What happened to them?
Oh, and we also used to work at a paintball field.
Oh,
So then like everyone kind of like worked a little bit, and then cause like, you know, we were a paintball team too. So we'd like compete in like paintball things, and then we would like play paintball and like work at the places and stuff, and then everyone kind of like worked little jobs, and then I worked a lot too over the weekends, and then we would just like buy these cars off
This was in
Craigslist.
high school, right?
Yeah, this is in high school.
Okay.
And then so my high school boyfriend, or like my really good friend now, he actually he's still kind of in the scene. He's like in the Corolla scene. And he actually knows like a lot of the homies in the Corolla scene, but he didn't know how to drive stick, and I didn't even have a driver's license or know how to drive, and used to panic trying to operate vehicles. But we had his parents, I think, or was it one of our friends? Somebody dropped us off to the address of the Craigslist place, and then we bought the car. Yeah, we bought the car, and then he learned how to drive stick while driving home from it. And he used to have like mild panic attacks and stuff, and so did I. And so he was like trying to learn how to drive stick while driving home, and then like he kept having to like pull off the freeway because he would like panic and stuff. So it was kind of funny. So
This was the FC?
yeah.
RX-7.
Yeah, RX-7.
So what happened to all those cars?
Okay, the MR2, I remember we donated it to the auto shop class. So it became like our high school's car that people would like tinker with, because we never got it running. and then the Supra, I think my friend Michael Tang, he kept that car for many years and then sold it, and now he has a FRS, I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he does.
Yeah. And then the RX-7, like he had it for a while, and then I don't know where, I think he sold it for the 8.6. But yeah, and then in high school, I was in journalism, and then me and my high school boyfriend used to write like columns covering like car events.
What?
What kind of car events?
Like we went to like Formula D, and then I brought my like high school journalism's like camera to Formula D, which was a 5D Mark II, and I had like a telephoto lens, and I got a media badge because I wrote for the high school newspaper, and then I shot Formula D.
I didn't even know you had any interest in cars.
I know. I was like, I thought this all happened after like you got with Joey.
No, she's always been kind of connected with cars. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's so
weird.
Yeah, and then I went to Spocom also, and I shot a bunch of photos at Spocom.
It was 2010.
Yeah, 2010. I went to Spocom, and then I like tried to take photos, but this was with my stepdad's old camera, and so I didn't know how to use it, and it was like really crappy, and I think it was a crop frame, and it was I don't even know what zoom it was, but like I couldn't take any photos of an entire car. So like every photo I took was like of like one like quarter of a car. And then there was one photo that I took with a car because I decided this was my favorite car of the show, and it was an NSX, a red NSX that ended up being owned by one of Joey's longest friends.
Yeah, the guy that I live with now.
Yeah. And that NSX is currently in that garage.
Yeah.
So this was in 2010.
And this is long before we ever met.
Yeah.
Any of us knew.
Yeah, because if you met me in 2010, you'd technically be like a pedophile because I was like 17.
Just because I met you?
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Man.
But yeah, and then that car was parked in the same row as your car, right?
No, it was parked with Charles's car.
Oh.
That was at the Super Street.
Oh, it was in 2000.
It was 2010.
And then in 2012. wait, or 2013 Spocom. When I danced in the Spocom dance competition, me and like a bunch of my Ratchet friends, we were the dance, like our dance team, we decided to pretend to be import models and take Ratchet photos in like the aisles of the cars. And then that was where your car was, right?
Which one of Charles's cars?
The S13. It was that year at Swilcom when it was the NSX and the S13 next to each other.
Yeah. In the photo that
This
I
is
take,
a very long time ago.
Yeah. In the photo I take with the NSX, I was wearing a Totoro backpack because I'm a freaking anime nerd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You still have that picture.
I still have that picture.
Wait, Totoro, your neighbor, right?
Huh?
Your neighbor?
Yeah.
Your neighbor Totoro.
My neighbor Totoro.
Okay.
and then, yeah, so in 2013, was it 13? 14. Actually, no, that's 2014, Spocom. I took those Ratchet photos.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I think I competed at Spocom's dance competition for like 3 years straight.
Mm.
Yeah. And then
Did you guys ever win?
I think we got second place out of 6. Hey, that's pretty good though. We were pretty messy, and then like we usually practiced pretty drunk and stuff because they were all like project teams and they were like for fun for summer. Yeah. And so we would like practice, like, yeah, it was Ratchet and it was fun though. I choreographed a piece to Sexy Back for one of them. Yeah. And then fast forward, I started being a photographer, like taking it seriously after I graduated college and worked full time, and then hated my life. And then I got hit up by Amped Asia.
Duh.
Wait. Backstory, please. What the hell is that?
Amped Asia is like an online kind of import.
No, there's prints too. Okay.
Import model magazine type stuff. Yeah.
It's literally a magazine just for import models and like ABG lifestyle and ABB lifestyle, basically.
What's ABB?
Asian baby boy.
Oh. Describe the. What the fuck's an Asian baby boy? So he drives a Lexus and does.
I kind of get the feeling that we really don't want to know.
Yeah, it's okay.
No, I want to know.
It's like now. It's the male counterpart to the ABG. Probably has a vape.
Okay.
Yeah.
Enough said.
Yeah. Anyways,
Amped Asia.
Yeah. So Amped Asia hit me up and was like, "Hey, like, would you like to start shooting for us?" Because I would shoot a couple of my like attractive female friends, like, and like, you know, it would end up really nice. And then I started posting on Instagram with it, and then they like found my stuff, and they're like, "Ooh, girl photographer and stuff." And at that point, I was like more known for like dancing than for photography. So like I would have like dance videos and dance photos and stuff on my Instagram, and then I started posting like my photography here and there. Most of all that stuff is actually deleted now, but and then so I got hit up by Amped Asia to shoot some girls, and then I got hit up by another company to shoot HIN. And then I shot HIN, and then I met Ray Trejano, aka the photographer. And then because I was shooting HIN just for the model competition, and it was actually my first time watching one of those.
The spokesmodel thing?
Yeah, like, and then this one girl literally was just like, they're like, "Why should you win Miss HIN?" And she goes, because I'm cute. And I almost
please don't ever do that again.
Yeah. I was on stage, and I think someone actually got a photo of me staring at her incredulously. And it was, yeah. Anyways.
Dude, that was the year when we went.
Yeah. You guys went with Jen, right?
It was me, you, Dur, and Jen. Jen was at the Tony's booth.
Spocom?
No, Hot Import Nights.
Hot Import Nights?
Fucking San Pedro. It was the first year we went, and we were just walking around, remember? And we were just vlogging and saying stupid shit.
Oh yeah, that wasn't a very good experience.
Yeah, that's where I was on stage shooting this model thing.
I remember that very well.
We went because of the power outage.
Free pizza.
Yeah.
We had power outage at the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was fun.
It took a power outage
for us to go to Hot Import Nights. The hottest of the import.
But yeah, that was like my first time experiencing like the import model scene, and I was like mind blown.
In full force.
Yep. I was like, what in the heck? And then, I met Ray Trejano, and he invited me to assist him on shoots.
Yeah, Ray's the photographer.
Yeah, and I ended up meeting Jen Q, official.
Jennifer Tran?
Yes, Jennifer Tran, official, unofficial, at one of these shoots. And then me and her ended up being friends. And then She asked me to if I wanted to ever go to Hawaii, and like at that point I'd like never really been on a vacation like before.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going for Week Fest, Hawaii."
Aww.
And I was like, "Oh my god, I want to go to Hawaii. I've never really like experienced Hawaii and stuff." And she was like, "Yeah, come and be my personal photographer." And then I was like, "Okay." And then I paid my way to go there. Like I bought my own plane tickets, and then like I paid for half the hotel and everything.
Is that what personal photographers do?
Yeah,
They pay
like
for their own.
Yeah.
Yeah, I paid for my own everything, and then I just photographed her for the whole weekend.
For free.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds like a great idea.
And then of course I like.
That sounds like a bad deal.
Does it? I don't know. I actually had a lot of fun. I don't really like think about things like that at that point. I think I was just like, I want to go on vacation. I want to go to Hawaii. And I was like, oh shit, okay, let's go. And then, and I like taking photos. So I was like, that's
Hawaii after all.
Yeah. I had a blast. And then I ended up getting really, 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 really drunk at the Week Fest pre-party.
Yeah.
And then I went to Week Fest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then things.
And then, what? And then
things evolved from there, I guess.
Yeah.
That's when you and Joey really hit it off, though, right?
Yeah,
we really hit it off.
We hit it off real well a couple of times.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I tried.
Yeah.
But I don't really remember, honestly.
Yeah. And then,
So did
Like
it
I
even...
said, I tried.
Yeah. So it was great. So fast forward.
And then I started shooting at Week Fest for Joey, and shooting random stuff with Joey. And then Ken was like, "Hey, you want to shoot some photos for Week Fest?"
Well, might as well, right?
Yeah. And the rest is history. Here I am, taking car photos.
Honestly, Tiffanie, I think, is really a very talented photographer, personally.
Aww.
Yeah, decent person, really good photographer.
Thanks.
No.
But yeah, it's been really fun.
Yeah.
I've experienced so many things, so many people, so many places, and I've like evolved probably like more than I've ever evolved in my entire life in this 1 year.
Like, how much do you think your photography has evolved in like the past year or two?
Oh my god. Like I look at like photos from last year, both car and human and thing, and I'm like mind boggled by what I was thinking at that point. Like
It's just practice makes perfect.
no, it's like
Evolving styles.
It's practice, because a lot of you'll see a lot of like people, like for anything in life, like you do things over and over and over again, and you technically have a lot of practice.
Yeah.
But if you don't change perspective, you don't change mindset, and you don't analyze the things that you're doing, nothing's going to change.
Right.
So repetition is not necessarily the key.
Yeah.
It's the desire to evolve, and it's the will to analyze what you've been doing in the past. So I guess like this year, because of the fact that like I've been forced into immediate professionalism from my like 2 year, or like my decision to be like, okay, I'm gonna be a professional photographer and freelance and like do this full time, and then just be like, oh shit, like this is what professionalism is, and then like analyzing other photographers who really are successful and really are professional, and like people that like really inspire me with their work ethics and like style and everything. That all like goes together to like push me to change as I go on, and like seeing what kind of photos like work with people and that people actually like, and what doesn't.
It's also the willingness to learn and experiment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, like honestly, like Joey and like his years of experience and perspectives on both professionalism and I guess life and stuff has like helped me to, I guess grow it faster than I think I would have if I didn't like join this situation.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does, right?
Yeah.
I guess because you're old. I'm just kidding.
I mean, life experience.
Your life experience.
Yeah.
I'm life experienced, just different ways, just like in a naive way.
Different tenure.
Yeah. I've definitely lost a lot of my naivety from this year of experiences and changes in people.
It's been a lot of positive growth.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's a great thing.
Yeah. The end.
So you gotta go wash your hair.
Yeah, I gotta go home and shower. It's like freaking.
Yeah, it's pretty late.
What time is it? It's
1:15.
1:15. I'm still new to this watch reading thing because I just started wearing watches to signify my adulthood.
Dude,
you're going back in time.
Dude.
Watches, so.
15 is literally a quarter of the way around.
You know what? My watch is actually fast right now, so my watch says it's it's 1:19.
Unless your watch is small.
Okay, I'm gonna actually go. So you guys have fun and
Bye-bye.
Bye.
bye.
Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks. Good. Wait, where are my car keys?
I don't know. Oh, over there.
Oh shit.
Where were we? Just right around.
I think Yuta wanted to talk about how he met you.
Oh, yeah.
Or wait, did you want to talk
Did
about
I
how
did
you
I
met
want
yourself?
to, or did I just?
How I met myself. I met myself like around 6 years old when I started having memories.
Okay, good night.
6 years old.
Dude, I literally have no understanding or memory of anything that happened like prior to like 12.
That's fair. I feel like I don't either prior to like
I don't
24.
really have any childhood memories. It's very strange. But yeah, I don't know if I really need to intro this. I don't think you guys would be here listening to this if you didn't know who it was, unless you somehow stumbled upon this. And then I don't know if you're still around for part 2 if you don't know who I am either. So.
On a side note, can people not fix up the Civic Type R?
The new one?
Yeah, please.
Why? Well, I mean, it's like fucking $60,000.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, just don't try to fuck it up too much.
There's going to be at least like a 3 or 4 year window before anyone from.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried. Like, I don't know why I'm worried, but I just
He's
am.
worried about people fixing up the Civic Type R.
Like, you know, in ways that
The
like
new one.
that ruins the integrity of the car. I mean,
Like they're going to put like NRG steering
Like,
wheels on it and stuff.
I can't wait until I see somebody, you know, air riding a Civic Type
Oh no,
R.
it's going to happen in like in Week Fest, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Right? Just wait for it.
Please, guys.
If I had the money, it would already either be on 16-inch watch or like 22-inch.
Yeah, but that's only fine.
The fucking car comes with 20.
I know. Like I would figure out a way to put like the LX brakes on there.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
figure out a way
16-inch watts.
Can you figure out a way to make 20-inch watts?
Like, if
I mean, it's
there's
one or
like
the other. It's either like 16-inch watts or like maybe like 24-inch. Fuck, I don't know. Whatever comes in that size.
Please don't make like a JDM USDM conversion of this thing, if there is one.
I don't think there is. They're
It's
all
the same,
UK,
right?
Yeah, they're all UK made.
Okay. So
What would it be? It's like slightly darker headlights.
It's already USDM and JDM because parts of it come from Japan.
right.
Yeah, parts of it come from here. Parts of it come from Canada, and it's all assembled in the UK. So either way, you have like a random mix of stuff, anyways. But it's like such an expensive car right now.
That is true.
They're gonna wreck more of them before they start fixing them up.
It's gonna take a good like 5-6 years before
Mm-hmm.
most people can get.
I mean,
a
just
hold
look at
of
the
it.
8th gen Civic. People are barely starting to fix those up like the last 2 years. So.
But the new Civic Type R is 5x120, right? Yeah, I'd probably already have like some fucking M6 wheels on there or something
Those
stupid.
fucking Brabus wheels on it.
Yeah. No, well, that's Mercedes, Joey.
So, what were we talking about? How we met each other?
Yeah, I mean, you know, in the end, it's kind of like, fuck, it all came into a full circle.
Yeah, right. All these random mix of things that happened when we're all somehow we're like kind of in that space, and now we all kind of know each other.
I was very familiar with both of your guys' work before I met you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ken obviously because I was a customer.
Yeah.
And
I didn't even know that you like walked into stores and bought car parts. Because even back then, when there was like no real internet shopping yet, or it wasn't as big, even when I bought stuff, I would buy it online.
Oh, really?
I'd buy from options. Or like, do you remember Wholesale High Performance?
Yeah.
Dude, you could buy anything from there for like super cheap. It made no sense.
I honestly didn't know. Like, I was like, yes, I worked on cars, but it was like I would do engine swaps in my backyard for customers. I had no knowledge of the industry or like anything. It's just like I knew what weak sauce was, and I knew that they were local, so I went there.
You weren't really that like tied into the internet yet either, right? So you were all doing everything real grassroots style.
Like, I was on Zilvia for a long time. It's a S chassis forum.
Yeah.
I never really had an account on Honda Tech or NWP. I think like the last 6 months that NWP was around, I made an account.
How did you learn anything about Honda stuff back then? Just working on them?
I did a lot of research.
Did you look at like hyper revs?
No, like what? Like wiring?
Just parts.
Parts?
How did you know what parts to get?
Well, I mean, like the same manufacturers made the same parts for, like all the stuff that I was used to running on my S13s and whatnot.
And the Civic didn't have any aero or anything.
The whole time I had it, I would just do research, like see what was available, see what I could buy. Like I definitely wasn't into like collecting rare stuff or anything. So it's more like a lot of it was off the shelf stuff. And like all my suspension, got it from Weak Sauce.
What made you go to Weak Sauce? Just because they were local?
They were local, and they had like for example, like I was actually I actually didn't know that rubber bushed adjustable arms were even a thing. I thought everything was spherical.
Oh, really?
Yeah, coming from H6 S chassis stuff.
True.
It's like everything. I thought everything was spherical no matter what.
Yeah.
So I was like, who the fuck is gonna buy rubber bush adjustable arms? Yeah. Which now makes sense to me. Like now it completely makes sense. It's one or the other. I usually never go partial spherical. It's always. But at the time, I figured I wanted spherical everything. So I called around. A lot of people weren't willing to look into it. Like I don't even know where else I called, but Weak Sauce, when I called them, I was like, I want like Function 7 arms, but I want them with spherical bearings. And they actually knew what I was talking about, and they went through the trouble of getting it for me.
Yeah, look at you guys.
So, yeah.
We're alright.
Yeah. So,
but, doing all that was, I mean, now it's kind of like a lost art. Like Joey mentioned, like, reading hyper revs, or Yuta calling around, like really looking for that one thing,
like research
and not giving up.
Yeah,
I think definitely, in my opinion, this generation has.
It's too easy now.
Yeah, it's a little bit too easy. Where like, there's no real passion in a way behind it. I mean, there's passion, but definitely not as much effort. I would say.
Yeah, it's because there's like DIYs now online all the time.
Like it's great that there's all these things that are readily available for you to find, but I don't know. Like when I was a kid, like building cars, like I enjoyed that whole process of like try to find a thing.
Yeah,
and then when you finally find it, it's just a different feeling. Now you can just Google everything.
I think Utah still does it the old-fashioned way,
which is cool because it's what you really want.
Right? Do I?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, how often do you look online for instructions on how to do anything?
A lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So he's changed.
No, I've always looked online for stuff.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, looked like especially like wiring pinouts, stuff like that.
Yeah, that stuff.
Yeah, it's like. Yeah, it's like you can't like I don't have like all data or anything anymore. So
you have people that know wiring. You have people that know wiring.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, like God forbid, like one day, like I'm just completely lost. I would probably ask Dur and bother him, and he'd be annoyed at me.
Dur seems like the type of guy where if you like, he's like has all this knowledge, but if you asked him, he'd just be like, he's probably totally not like that, but that's how we think. We like don't want to bother Dur with wiring.
I just don't want to bother him.
Yeah, because he works doing it all day, so it's like I don't want to ask the guy.
I agree. It's regarding like the whole. In my personal opinion, it seems like a lot of the market now, or say more so than it was 10 years ago, much more, I guess the manufacturing industry side is a lot more market driven than innovation driven, which is, given.
It is what it is.
Yeah. I guess so.
Yeah. Did you want to tell a story about how we actually got to know each other?
Yeah, I was very familiar with Joey's work previous to ever meeting him. But I lived in the Bay Area, NorCal.
You know the story?
I do not.
So I don't even know which variation of the story you're talking about. You're referencing.
Just how we got to know each other, because we always knew of each other, but we didn't really like hang out.
Though, well, at least from my recollection, I knew of Joey's work because I had an interest in Hondas. Obviously, I definitely wasn't pursuing that professionally. I like a lot of the customers I took on back when I lived in San Jose were still Nissan, Toyota, a lot of having to do a lot more to do with my background, which is mostly drifting. But I played autonomous ones because I love the balance. They're just super fucking fast, and I always felt, I don't know, I was like dead set on somehow eventually killing myself by falling off a mountain, and Honda seems like the fastest way to do it. And
when you had the Z running, you had the 4-door already, or no?
No, the 240Z. I would always have a grip car in the summer and a drift car in the winter, just because of finances. 240Z was pretty quick downhill, even as it was. It had triple eights on it at the time. In hindsight, NT1s would have been better, but it still held its own.
Who wheeled it then?
The MK3s.
Oh, okay.
So the Mark 3s. 14x9, 14x10. Yeah, it did all right. Like S2000s, couple Evos.
Yeah.
Downhill, it did all right. But and then I had a TE as my winter car at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I totaled I think like 4 times.
Oh,
Yeah, TE70 Corolla.
80 Corolla.
1980 Corolla coupe. The cheapest car to have ever been in Super Street.
You think so?
$200.
Oh yeah, that was way.
Literally $200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was the $20 R ever featured? No.
Yeah, it was.
No, Drew's car beats
Yeah.
that.
What?
Yeah, he bought a
was
Type R for
featured.
$20.
Yeah. What?
Yeah,
How?
it was a $20 R. He was like a favor or something, right? Yeah, he just paid the guy $20 for it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And it turned out really fucking clean.
Yeah, kind of really nice. It was like a blue Type R from the Bay Area, but so
He spent $20 total on the car?
No, to buy the car.
I got this Corolla for free, and I spent $200 on wheels and tires.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
You win.
Yeah, it was like a pair of Mark IIs and Potenza RE86s. That's an old ass tire.
Mm-hmm.
But my first sedan I bought right when I stopped dailying the 240Z. That became my new daily.
Civic.
Yeah, because it was the Civic was my new daily for the summer.
Mm-hmm. That was the first white photo ever that you had.
Yes. That
How
was
many do you have now?
Oh,
since then?
8, like 3, 4. Yeah. I really like 4-door Civics. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. That
love
Civic, the first 4-door was the one that that's how I figured out who Yuta was. Because I knew of Utah Z, and then I knew of like its like Speed Hunters fame and how the Z ended up in Need for Speed, the video game and all that stuff. And then I actually recognized Yuta because he was driving a 4 around at the time, and he was living in my area. And that Civic had, this is when he moved down here already. And that's the white Civic that had Volt 4.5s on it. And then I would always see him driving around. And I was like, oh shit, that's that one dude, Utah, with the fucking Z. And then all my friends were like, who? And I was like, the guy from Speed Hunters or whatever, you know? And then he'd always drive by T Station and stuff. And then like, it's funny because I think I called you Yuta back then. Because, I mean, that's how it's always been. I don't know if you know this, but there's always been a discrepancy as to how to say your name. If you talk to some people now, they still think your name is Yuta. So I would say Yuta, and then they're like, who? And then that guy with the Z is like, oh, Utah. So I started calling people, I started referring to you as Utah to other people, and they'd be like, Utah? You mean Yuta? So I was like, I'm not going to fucking try anymore, okay? What's this dude's name is? Whatever.
I'm not going to try. I have no idea what my name is now.
Yeah, so I started spotting Utah's Civic and Volt 4.5s, and then kind of showed it to my meet one day, and I was like, oh shit. He came at the very end of the meet. And then I was like, oh shit,
that
what's
was
Utah doing at my
year 3? 4?
Yeah, that was pretty early on.
Actually, that day, Phil Star, from Chicago, Grip Gamblers, he was visiting.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to take him to a meet, and I was gonna go anyways, of course. But like I don't know, like I never run fans. I don't know why. I'm just an idiot.
I mean, I knew a couple guys that didn't run fans either, just because it didn't look as cool. I don't know why you didn't run them. You're just stupid.
Oh, because I always ran like weird like hybrid radiator setups, and I just couldn't get it to fit. At the time, I was running.
You could have ran a reverse fan on the other side.
I could have, but that just blocks.
It's just, I guess.
I'm just an idiot. Anyways, man, that's like we're hella jumping ahead, but that's the.
Oh, you want to tell them the story about how I stole a feature from you?
No. I can. I'll get back to that in a minute now. That's when I met Justin Orcon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because he was broken down on the side of the road.
I started overheating, and on the way to Corona, IBOC. So I just, because there's a lot of traffic, so I just pulled over on the side. I was just hanging out. Yeah. And then Justin in his crazy orange wide body Civic.
That car's sick, dude.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Yeah. Came up and he like asked me if I was okay and stuff, asked me if I needed anything.
Nice guy.
Yeah. And that was the first time I ever met him. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't think he remembers, but
yeah, probably not.
That was me.
Different times for Justin.
Yeah. But going back to Joey and how I met him. Again, previous to having met him, I started working for freelancing for Import Tuner when Charles took over as editor-in-chief. Charles True. And I think I was like 19 or 20 at the time. I don't know what he was thinking. High school dropout, horrible idea. But I like busted my ass. Like I figured this was like a chance, and he gave me like 2 weeks to write my first feature. And
did you just email him or he asked you?
He asked me. He hit me up.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he. I think it's when he interviewed me. I think I tried to write as much as I could, and I think that's when he figured that I at least had somewhat of a grasp of the English language.
You're a pretty good writer, dude, for someone that like doesn't have as much education as a lot of other people.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I read a lot of books.
Yeah, so that helps, you know. Visual learner.
I used to work in a parking booth. I read like thousands of books. Anyways, so Charles gave me that chance, and I think I spent like 2 weeks, 14 days. I think I spent 12 days like straight, just like reading how to write a magazine article.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know, because I had no idea.
Yeah, like the structure of it.
The structure, and then I read like every article that was online at the time on SuperStreet and Import Tuner's site. So somehow managed to not fuck that up, and after a few months, Charles asked me if I had any ideas for cars to feature, and I came up with the idea of featuring this white Miata, Cody Chan's car, and I wrote a story, and then I pitched it to Charles. Charles was getting a photographer. Actually, Lindbergh agreed to do it, and then a couple days later, I was kind of excited because it's like the first time I got to choose a car that was going to be featured. And then Charles hit me up a couple days later, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, like SuperStreet actually got that car." And as it turns out, a few months later, I see it on newsstands, and the words and photos by Joey Li. Who the fuck is Joey Li? And
that feature came out pretty good.
I was like, wait a second, that's Joey. That's the Chronicles. Yeah. I was like, okay, well, and it came out really well. So that was my first actual, aside from just reading Joey's work online, that was my first kind of almost interaction with him.
How did you even know about the Chronicles?
Like, I was interested in Hondas. Like, how would I not know?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of, I guess, although my main concern then, and I guess now too, is just trying to go as fast as possible. I was still really interested in different parts.
Aesthetics and stuff?
Mostly wheels.
Yeah.
Like, hence the 5.4s. 5.4s, yeah.
The 4.5, those are great. Should get those.
Yeah, well, times were and are tough.
Yeah.
So, but, yeah, eventually I moved down to Southern California in 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I guess Joey started to see my car around, because I daily drove that sedan up until the day that it got hit and totaled.
Yeah, it's not everywhere. And then you got to drive a wheel flip. And that's also how I got to know you too.
That's right. I got it when I moved down to Southern California. I didn't have a job lined up, so I just posted up on Facebook. I was like, "Hey, anybody hiring?" And Alex hit me up. He's like, "Hey, yeah, actually." So I started working at Wheel Flip with him, and I think they did a set of wheels for Joey, and that was the first time I actually like met him in person.
Yeah, I don't think we ever even spoke. We just saw like stuff or whatever, and then
yeah, that was it.
Yeah, and then now Wheel Flip is right across from our office still.
It's weird. It's super weird.
Yeah.
I was there for about a year, moved on, and then moved on again. But during that time, somehow I actually became friends with Joey.
It was through Takeshi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Took someone from another country.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. And yeah, I guess and then like we were friends, but we didn't like hang out, Joey and I. And then one day I decided that I started competing in certain, I guess, in Time Attack. And realized that the only way I was gonna progress with that was with media coverage.
Proper exposure. Yeah.
Proper exposure.
Yeah.
Which in my case is like I'm like the worst at that. So I thought about it.
You need a PR person, pretty much.
Yeah. Just thought about it, and then I just one day I texted Joey and I was like, "Hey, can I stop by your shop?" That was back when it was like just his shop. And I went there and I straight up asked him. I was like, "Hey, can I drive for you the Chronicles as my title media sponsor partner?" And I don't know, he didn't seem too thrilled about it, to be honest.
I don't seem thrilled about most things though, so that's not your fault.
Yeah, but did that for like a solid year. I think that's when we really became friends. At least I don't know.
Yeah, because then we started eating at BCD Tofu House all the time.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
And then that's when you had moved out on No Rush Shop too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and then I think that's how I propositioned him.
Yeah, you just showed up one day and said that you were gonna help me out and work for me, and I didn't have to pay you. So I was like, okay.
That's what I said, huh?
Yeah. I was like, there's nothing really for you to do here but watch movies. So.
Yeah. But it's okay because it worked out, because now I'm like driving your booth to Seattle and stuff.
Yeah, and you really like watching movies. So.
That's true.
Yeah. It's crazy how all these connections, like there's so many things, and we're all from different areas, and somehow we all ended up getting tied together by car stuff. It's all very interesting. I think there's something interesting about the fact that pretty much none of us are actually from Los Angeles. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the crazy part.
And I find that to be very interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a culture thing.
I'm just here for the food, so.
You're what?
Yeah, Ken moved down here for food, for business, to buy food.
Quote unquote business.
Yeah.
Really for just 1 a.m. food.
Yeah, 1 a.m. food. There's nothing in San Jose, right?
Fuck no.
No, there's all kinds of shit in San Jose.
There's not that much.
Amazing,
if you
dog.
talk to Utah, he hates San Jose, but he also loves San Jose. Like,
wait, how do I hate San Jose?
You always talk about how great it was to move away from there, but then, like, anytime anyone ever talks about San Jose...
How great it was to move away from San Jose? What's so great about moving away from San Jose?
I don't know.
Oh, realistically, moving away from San Jose was literally, like, my last-ditch attempt to, like, make something of myself.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I probably would have, like, tried to get a job at Costco or UPS or something and just kind of lived out, like, a normal, stable life.
Yeah, but what it's worth, I guess, in that sense, LA does have more of those opportunities.
Yeah.
It had a lot more opportunity for me,
Yeah.
La La Land. That's why I moved up to LA too. Because in San Diego, things were getting dry, and then if I wasn't going to do anything with my life, then I was like you. I was just gonna go get a regular. I was working a regular job. I was working at fucking Cragen, So, and then I was just 5 years there, and then it was kind of just a dead end, man. It's like I really need to move away and either find something else to do, or else I need to go back to school or some shit. And then I don't think if I had moved up here, I don't think I would have ever figured anything out.
But it's also about how much effort you're willing to put in to the cause, right? Like, you could have easily said, I'm just going to stay down there and just accept my fate.
Yeah.
Or you're going to risk it all because there's just this one thing that you really want to do.
Yeah.
And not sell yourself short in that dream.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, I mean, it's always going to be a tough road. It's not going to be easy, but, if you really want to go for it, then just go for it.
Yeah. You have to take chances for everything to work out. Otherwise, things are going to always kind of stay the same.
Yeah, you're always going to just be in that situation where you don't really want to be in. You're always going to say, I wish this, I wish that, but what are you actually doing to apply yourself?
And you were in a bubble up there, right, you feel? Just trapped in a bubble?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one thing that I really loved, and that was driving. In that sense, yes, San Jose was fucking perfect.
Yeah.
I could literally drive every night, and that was amazing. But in order to do that, like in order to buy tires, for example, I was working like a regular ass job, like I didn't care about a lot of when I was younger, when I was in my teens, like engine swaps, for example, like people would pay like $1,500 to put an SR into a 240.
Yeah.
You know, put a B series into a Civic, stuff like that. So yeah, like I was able to support myself, but after a while, things just started to level off, and shops started to charge a lot less. And at that point, it was either like start doing custom fabrication or
do something else.
Yeah, and I think a big catalyst for that was Charles giving me a chance over at Import Tuner. I think that kind of opened up my eyes a lot and like where the industry was, and actually a lot. I think some of it was like from reading your site too, like seeing how like people that worked in the industry, like kind of like their day-to-day lives. I was like, okay, well that doesn't seem all that scary to me. And actually, up until a month before I moved down here, I was planning to move to Japan.
Yeah, that would have been cool too.
I was like dead set on moving to Japan.
Yeah.
So like I was gonna ship my 240Z and I was gonna fly to Japan and just live there. But a month before that happened, I really thought about it and I decided to give. Well, it made sense because although my first language is Japanese, I am a lot more comfortable with English now, obviously. And like I would have to relearn so much shit, and I was like, well, why not give America like one last chance? Just change it drastically somewhere that there's a lot more opportunity. If it doesn't work there, then just have enough money to go to Japan.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know what happened. I blinked and now I'm here.
Did you already have a place to live?
In Japan?
No, when you moved down here.
Kind of. Alan and B-Love said I could sleep on their couch.
So it was
or they didn't have a couch, but in the living room. Yeah. And then within a few months, I had found a room to rent. And that's Tao's spot.
Yeah, I see right now still. Yeah, when I moved up here, I didn't have anywhere to go. I slept on my sister's couch.
Okay.
Yeah, I moved up here at $400.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I had. And then, we just kind of made it work, man.
I had no money, and somehow I managed to bring 3 cars down here.
Yeah.
At the time, I had 5 cars.
Yeah.
I had the RB S13, 2 8.6s. I don't know why I gave up the 8.6 that I did.
Yeah,
but
it's a pretty nice car.
Yeah. They were both like perfectly straight. One was a coupe, one was a hatch.
For all the money that you didn't have, you were rich in non-running cars. So.
I guess I still am.
Yeah, you still are. You're very beautiful in non-running vehicles. So.
Yeah. Man, that hatch though, that shit, dude.
Yeah. Well, what happened to the purple?
That's sold it to Amir.
Huh?
I sold it to Amir.
Does he still have it?
Yeah.
Is it still stuffed in that storage container?
I don't know.
No.
Yeah, that car is fucking straight.
Yeah, because he has a shop now, and why isn't that car over there?
Because his shop's actually full of his other cars right now.
Man.
I went there today earlier, and it was fucking ridiculous.
You just influenced everyone to have non-running cars.
No, all his cars run. That's the thing. Yeah, it's him and Mui.
Yeah.
They both have a bunch of cars.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think we're off to a pretty good start. There's so many things to talk about too, just because we kind of like know each other, we all know each other pretty well. And then I travel with Ken everywhere whenever we go on the Week Fest tour. And then now that he lives down here, he just moved down here recently. If you guys don't know, like he was living in San Jose for the longest. He just barely moved down here this year, right? So how long have you been down here?
Almost been a year now, but with us traveling so much, I haven't really been home.
You moved down here around the same time we got this shop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. All the traveling and stuff. We have our next stop is going to be Jersey.
On August 20th. And registration for Texas opened today. So for those that didn't know. And then we round off the year December 17th, West Palm Beach, Florida. And it starts all over again.
Are you gonna go to Jersey, Dirk? I mean Yuta.
Sure. I wish. Man. Wish I had half the talent that guy has.
Jersey?
That's what, like 45 hours?
Yeah.
45, maybe 50 hours? I don't
know. You want to see the entire country again,
I already did a US tour today. I mean, this year.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe we can get the right flight and get out there. Huh?
But I mean, I'm hoping we'll see some cool stuff in New York.
Yeah.
I really, really do.
The Times Square cruise is always nice too.
Yeah.
So.
I like New York.
Yeah.
I can actually say that now, because for the first time in my life I've actually been to New York this year.
How long were you actually there, though?
3 days.
Oh, okay. So you were actually there.
I saw a lot of shit.
Just touring with Japanese people.
It's like the most random things happen. Yeah, random things. Like, obviously, we did like all the typical things, like eating Chinese food in Flushing, and went to Grand Central.
Yeah.
I went to somebody's apartment and watched a diamond deal go down. Yeah, I shit you not. This dude came in with diamonds. This guy inspected him and bought a couple of them. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they even brought a paralegal with them.
And this is while you were being a translator for HKS.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Like, New York, man, it's interesting.
Yeah, for sure. So we got Spocom this weekend, and then Utah has VTech Club NorCal versus SoCal, which is like a unique event for them.
Yeah, it's at Buttonwillow, which is halfway between NorCal and SoCal. This one's actually presented by Battlecraft, so this is our event. I don't know why it's on the same day as Spocom, but
this is like the second or third year in a row, right?
Yeah, I think it has to do with availability of the track and which organization gets to rent it on certain days, and you obviously have seniority if you rented it the same exact day last year. So it is what it is. I mean, at least it's not clashing too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. You're just missing Spocom.
If it was Week Fest, that would suck because I would miss my own event.
Yeah. Would you go to Week Fest?
I would probably go to Week Fest. Yeah. It's significantly cooler.
Yeah, in terms of temperature.
Yeah. And it's not 4 hours away.
Yeah.
3 hours away. Yeah. Which is a horrible way to look at it, but Christian's gonna go anyways. He could handle it, you know.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess on that note, that's a wrap on the first two parts of Chronicles on Tape, our latest podcast. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and if we make more, I hope you guys continue to listen.
Don't give up on us yet.
Yeah, we kind of know what we're doing, I think.
I think Conor McGregor is gonna win this fight. I'm just saying.
So, I mean, I don't see a reason why, if it went to a decision, anyone would let him win.
I just fucking love the marketing in this thing.
Dude,
he's
definitely sold the fight. Okay, like he knows how to sell a fight.
This is like watching wrestling again.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys know that this is still going, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll talk about wrestling some other time.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys later.